What you'll like best about working with us is our unique products and services. My name's Andrew Sokol.
My name is Andrew Sokol.
Wait a minute. Why are you copying me?
Well, it's working for you. Rose writes to us and says that she's been in business for 6 years, and during that time she's watched the business of her main competitor grow. And so she is actually considering borrowing her main competitor's marketing ideas for her own. And her question is it a good idea to copy the marketing of my most successful competitor?
Well, so-and-so has been doing such and such, so it must be a good idea.
Yes.
Or, I want to do what XYZ company has been doing in their marketing. They must know what they're doing. These are expressions that we hear business people say all the time, and we want to start right off the bat by saying that copying is never a good idea. It's a bad idea for a couple of reasons. First of all, it leads to a weak brand strategy and low return on investment, but it can actually be dangerous to your business success for two reasons. First, remember that the principles of contrary marketing, which we've developed, are based on the idea that you need to differentiate yourself from your competition. You want to differentiate in terms of how you're perceived and the actions that you take. And to copy is contrary to that.
You might say it's contrary to contrary marketing.
You might say that. The second reason it can be dangerous to your business success is that it assumes that the people who you're copying know what they're doing. And for anyone who's heard me speak, you've heard me say that if people's decision-making wisdom was equal to their decision-making power, our political leaders would be the wisest people on the planet. I think we'd all agree that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, in other words, don't assume just because someone has power that they know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Why don't you give us some examples?
Well, the annals of marketing history are full of classic mistakes, even made by big companies. These are companies with big budgets for focus groups and research and product development and marketing and advertising. Even they make mistakes. Let's look at some classic blunders. How many of you beautified yourself with Clairol's touch of yogurt shampoo? Not a big seller. Did any of you rush out to enjoy the delicious taste of rabbit jerky? There's a product that was launched and went nowhere. Miller Beer, big company, big budget. Lots of important decision makers there. They launched Clear Beer, a product that did not sell well at all. Then one of my favorites, Kentucky Fried Chicken. What's their famous slogan?
Finger looking good?
Finger licking good. But when KFC began to market in China, they translated that famous slogan as eat your fingers off. And of course, the classic big blunder of all time, New Coke. Remember, Coca-Cola was always perceived as the real thing, the genuine article, tradition, America. New Coke completely obliterated that perception.
Talk about questionable decisions. Michael Jordan's high school basketball coach cut him from the team.
I love that example. Here's another example. Decca Records actually turned down the Beatles for a recording contract. So it just goes to show that decision makers don't necessarily know what they're doing. Now, understand this doesn't just apply to big companies. It applies to small businesses as well. I remember when I was handling the marketing for a retailer in Southern California, they came to me and they said they wanted to start a new television ad campaign. And they said that they wanted to basically use the same kind of campaign that their most successful competition was using. They figured that if it was working for their competition, it would work for them. Wrong.
Or photographers who use the same kind of pictures on their business card or the same kinds of slogans on their brochures. Or real estate agents who use pictures, their pictures, on their business cards because they see other real estate agents doing the same thing.
That's right. We talked about that in another 5 for 5. So this leads to our action step for the week. Notice the similarities in marketing between competitors in your industry. Are you practicing copycat marketing too? Now, you may have noticed that this action step is a little different than some of the other action steps we've given you because it's not so much about doing something, it's really designed more to raise your awareness of the similarities of campaigns in your industry and see how people are copying each other.
So, Rose, is it a good idea to copy your competitors' marketing?
We don't think so. We'll see you next week. Thanks for being with us. I'm Andrew Sokol.
And I'm Mike Krieger.
Take care.
Bye-bye.